Early goal to either side brought the game alive at Connor Reserve. With several players in both teams in top form, the game flowed from one end to the other. Ulevski and Krino controlling the midfield at one end, and Milosevic's surging runs down the centre, creating opportunities at the other. Biskic's pinpoint passing gave Ivan Kelic a first-time shot in the 18th minute. There were deflections off Jackson and Trianides before Milosevic put the rebound wide. The rest of the first half gave no hint as to what was about to happen. Ironically, Alan Davidson was the player in the 55th minute who lost the ball, which led to Makedonia's second goal. Deep in defence, Davo found 18-year-old Chris Trianovski, a determined opponent. With the Croatia defence suddenly shot to pieces, the tackler found himself in the clear, with only the keeper to beat. It was the Australian youth team striker's first NSL goal and was the start of an amazing scoring spree by the home side. With a reorganised defence, Preston found itself in a position to launch raids down the right. The visitors now breaking down in midfield, and Androzini's pace proving a headache. Awaratifi having to defend here. A minute later, the defence had no answer. Oscar Krino with a stack of room, and Trianovski outside him to pick up the pass and score his second NSL goal in the space of 3 minutes. Like the fans, the youngster had an appetite for the back of the net, and so did his hungry teammates. Within 3 minutes, Trianovski could have had his third. A precision pass from Markovacs, but the finish just wide. At 3-1, Melbourne Croatia was still a chance of getting back. Kelic regularly looking a threat. The score stayed that way for 20 minutes, but then joy for the supporters and gloom for George Hanna as referee Tom McCrow pointed to the penalty spot. An energetic Spink was the player to go down, and George Ulevski doesn't miss too many of these. 4-1 to Preston Makedonia and 10 minutes remaining. Moments later at the other end, there were appeals for handball. They were to no avail, and even if they had been upheld, it wouldn't have made much difference. Preston's fifth came with the typical skill you'd expect from a confident Warren Spink. Jackson with the pass, and Spink did the rest. The 24-year-old striker leaving a couple of useful defenders behind him for his 44th NSL goal. Now they were dancing on the terraces, many disbelieving as the competition leader buckled. Even Phil Trianides was playing a role in the burial, diving brilliantly to deny Kelic, and then narrowing the angle for Hanna. George Petrov had had a blinder and almost capped it off with a spectacular left footer. A revitalised Oscar Krino nearly put his name on the score sheet. Then Kelic, who'd tried hard all day, went through a shocking sequence across the area, as if to underline the visitors' wretched second half. 20 seconds later, it was half a dozen, and a second hat-trick in 5 rounds for Spink. He laid it off to Krino, Krino to Trianovski. The crossbar denied him his third, but not the number 9, who gratefully headed home from point-blank range. The supporters couldn't resist joining the on-field celebrations. This the club's biggest win since a 6-0 drubbing of Wollongong a decade ago. The post-match euphoria continued well into the night as everyone contemplated the ramifications of such a stunning result. History in the making at Connor Reserve. The final scoreline